はい、では今から、皆さんいらしていただいてありがとうございます。これから日系三世のローリーに、アメリカで生き続ける日本文化の日本の文化と武士道コードということについてインタビューしていきたいと思います。ローリーはですね、Let the Samurai Be Your Guide という本を最近出しまして、それが非常にとてもいい本です。はい。7つの武士道コードというのをローリーが導き出しまして、そのことについて書いてあります。今日はそのことについてもたくさんお聞きしたいと思います。またその他にですね、昔話をパペットを使ってアメリカのみんなに大人から子供まで皆さんに伝えたりとか、あと講演をしてこの武士道コードを広めたりとかしてらっしゃいます。で、ライフコーチもなさってますし、日本の料理なんかもね、教えてらっしゃるんですね。お弁当なんかを作るのも教えてらしたりとか。その他にもアクティビティをやってらっしゃる。ということで、すごくね、今日は楽しみにしておりました。Hey, Lori, thank you for joining us today. We are looking forward really, to talking with you.
Oh, thank you. どうもありがとう。
どういたしましてありがとうございます。So first, would you please, introduce yourself briefly, what you do?
Yes. I am a Sansei, third generation Japanese American, and all of my grandparents are from Japan, Tokushima and Matsusaka. お父さんは、徳島 and お母さん三重県 Matsusaka. So I am as Japanese as you are, but I don't, because I'm American, speaking different language, eating different food, and I've been married for 43 years, 42, a long time. so that changes a person's look, I think. Do you think so? So omoimasu ka?
Well, how do you think that? アメリカ人の方と結婚なさってると、ちょっと見え方違ってきますかね。どう思いますか？
I think so, because I'm more culturally, I'm American, but up here, I think like Japanese.
Oh yeah, that's very interesting though. That's really, yeah, seriously. And so would you tell us, what you do usually?
Yes, I will. I grew up in rural America, and okay. I grew up in rural America and didn't realize I was Japanese until I went to school. And I was teased and bullied, and I didn't like being Japanese because that was after the war and a hard time to be Japanese. My parents went through those camps in Tule Lake and Minidoka. And it was a prison. I mean, it wasn't nice. And what the government did is very unkind. But they made reparations. They apologized, and they gave reparations to those that were detained. But many didn't get to receive that. Anyway, I raised 2 boys, and then as I got older and had an empty nest, I started doing work and networking, and I was an artist for a while. And then I decided to go into public speaking because I really, really enjoyed it. And joined Toastmasters. Do you know about Toastmasters?
I do. I am part of the Toastmaster too.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
good.
And there are some Toastmasters in Japan too. Actually, some of them are in English.
Yes.
Not very popular to the people in Japan. Yeah.
So I joined Toastmasters, and I've been speaking about, right now I speak about the Code of Bushido, and it was because I was in an accident. I was rear-ended 2 times, and was reading at a very low level, like junior high. So not very smart. So I went through a lot of therapy to get better and decided to write the book. So the first book I wrote, and I thought if I finish writing this book, it will help me overcome traumatic brain injury. And this was the cover of the first book. And then I was offered a contract by Tuttle, and that was released last month. Let the Samurai Be Your Guide. Were you able to forward the book trailer to your friends?
I'm sorry, could you say again?
Did you forward the book trailer to your friends?
No, actually, I didn't get it from you, but you know, it was, you mean that, you know, it was on your website? That's the one?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I am going to, you know, I'm gonna make, put that link down there because.
Okay.
Yeah. After
Okay.
we finish it.
Okay, and then I decided to write the book. And at first I had like Helen Keller and other people, but then I thought, no, I want Japanese people. And especially Nisei, the second generation, because they were without equal. They were great people. They fought in the war. Even though they were behind barbed wire, they went out and fought very courageously in World War II. And they also interpreted documents. I don't know if, well, you know about the MIS, right? Your father-in-law?
You're right, yeah.
Yeah, and there was a very select, a very small minority that translated the documents, over 18,000 documents, and they shortened the war by probably a couple years and saved a lot of lives. But they also went in and helped bridge that gap between America and Japan. And they treated the prisoners very kindly. And yeah, one of the stories in my book is about two brothers in America, three brothers in Japan, and they were fighting each other. So it's kind of a sad story, but it had a happy ending. And it's not in Japanese yet. I hope that it will be. I don't have control over that, so I don't know. That's not up to me, but I hope someday that it will be translated into Japanese. And I was going to be in Tokyo and Kyoto for a book sign, but that's right when the virus thing came and everything was canceled.
Yeah. So deeply affected in everything, right?
Yes, it did. It has.
Yeah. Well, but one thing for sure is it doesn't last forever.
Right.
Look forward to. Just for others' information, she was talking about Minidoka. That is an internment camp that all Japanese or Japanese descendant are sent to the a concentrate camp during the World War II because they are afraid of betrayed or something. So it was really something different. And then the later years in America kind of apologized for that, but to the all Japanese people who were there and was born there had deeply influenced about it too. That's why I think Lori is going to cover for that the people on the book how they reacted for that. Okay, that's great.
And you can speak Nihongo if that's okay to explain.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, then今言ったのはですね、ミネドカっていうところにその収容所があったんですね。日本人とか日系人の収容所があって、第二次世界大戦が始まった時に日本人だから日本と戦争してるわけだからひょっとしたら裏切られるかもしれないじゃないですか、アメリカにしたらね。なのでみんなもうともかく日本人の血が入った人は全部そこに入れられたわけですよね。でその中で生まれた人もいるし、でその中でも全く隔離された世界の中で生きてきたわけですね。まあいくつかのちょっと例外もあったりなんか全くその中にいたわけじゃなくて例外もあったようなんですけれども、なので後々ねアメリカがそれに対してお詫びはしてるんですけれども、まあそこに入れられた人にとってはねやっぱりちょっといろいろな精神的にもねいろんな影響があって、そのことについてもローリーはその本の中でね書いてらっしゃると思うので後でお聞きしてみたいと思います。Okay, thank you. And just for the bright side, I mean the not bright side, but as I've been in the Japanese American society ever since I married, because my father-in-law was Japanese American second generation, and like my husband's cousin is a sansei, and she is a flight attendant, and she looks like Japanese, right? But she doesn't speak the Japanese so fluently because Sansei. So she served the Japanese business person in English, and she was told by the Japanese businessman, your English is so good. It was so funny to us, because she can't speak Japanese, but of course, she's a Native American, Native English speaker. It is something that you have something interesting, kind of funny. It doesn't have to be a funny, but something interesting story as a third generation.
Sure. In 1982, the first time to Japan, I spoke Japanese, Nihongo, and they would listen to me and they would tell my husband the answer in English. You can explain that to them if you want.
No, I mean, 旦那さんの方に答えを何かローリーの方に質問して旦那さんの方に答えるようにトランスレートしてくれというような感じで日本に行った時に言われたと。結局もうローリーが日本人の顔をしてるのでもう完璧に日本語が喋れると思われたらしいんですね、日本に行った時に旦那さんという話です。でもローリーも日本語喋るんですけどネイティブレベルではなかったんじゃないかな。Were you able to speak Japanese like in native Japanese level?
Oh no, very, very like Kodomo. But my diction, people tell me I sound like Nihonji, but my vocabulary is very limited. Enough to get on the Shinkansen and where is this? Ikura desu ka? Very easy.
Yeah, but that's good enough to get a trip over there. I think trip down. So that's great. Okay, and after I came to the United States, I noticed that Japanese Americans owners Japanese cultures. It's really more to them. It's more everyday life. Like my husband's auntie is second generation. Never been to Japan at the time. But her Japanese was so beautiful.
Oh,
so more than I can speak in polite English, polite Japanese. She was so beautiful. But while the Japanese people right now in Japan, it's more honored to be, for the Eastern cultures more than the Japanese, own cultures itself. So how do you think about it?
Well, growing up in America, everything is from Europe. And would you say your kara or kimashita? I don't know. All the cultures from European blood or the European countries. And so we didn't really learn much history from the East. And there are some Japanese, like my sisters don't care much about it, but I really do. It's very important to me. And I've studied it and I've traveled to Japan about 8 or 9 times, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did.
And we just fly over and usually stay in one place. Our last trip, we went to Takamatsu. I loved it. I love Shikoku. And just had a great time there because the trains are very slow and not very often, but there's only 8 tracks. So you could literally go from one train to the other in just a matter of minutes. Because one time we had to change trains and we go, can we do it? They go, oh yeah, you can. We don't even have 5 minutes. They go, that's okay, you can do it. So we did it. Very yasashi.
About it, yeah.
Yeah, very easy. So we really enjoyed Shikoku. That was wonderful. And that's where my father's side is from. My father's side is samurai.
Oh, I see. Okay. I heard you have 6 siblings, including yourself, right?
Yes, 2 of my brothers have passed away, so it's my 2 sisters and my brother now. But there were 6 of us at one time. Grew up on a farm. Do I look like farmer's daughter?
I see. So all of them are more like Japanese culture, conscious, or you are most more honored.
I'm the most interested, and my mother didn't like Japanese food. So she did kind of a Japanese version of Chinese food, of Chinese food because she said Japanese food was sweet and she didn't like that. So she did like egg foo young and Japanese style chow mein and cook more Chinese food.
Oh.
I taught myself how to make Japanese food.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, but Chinese is always good too, to me. Yeah.
I prefer Japanese.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, me too. Sorry. Sorry. I don't mean to criticize you, but it's right. And let's move on to your, book. And then I thought, it's really interesting that, you kind of found, more like invented, the Bushido-Code, by yourself. But it's kind of interesting to write first book about the Bushido-Code. So why is it? And then is there any other, alternative option for you to write a, first book?
I was thinking of others, like I said, and I had other people in mind like Helen Keller and Viktor Frankl. But this book, I just felt like I wanted to do about Bushido. So I read Nitobe's book, and I've read a lot of books about Bushido and different people. And Sugihara, do you know Sugihara?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, some people may not, but yeah, I really do. Yeah.
Do you want to explain to them who?
Oh, sure. Yeah. この本はですね、杉原千畝っていう人ご存知ですかね、皆さんね。ヨーロッパのhe was in Holland? No, it was
Lithuania.
Okay, Lithuania. リトアニアにいた日本の駐在員だったんですね。大使館のね、日本大使館の、人で、その第二次世界大戦中にドイツがすごい台頭してたじゃないですか、ヨーロッパをね。その時にジューイッシュの人、イスラエルの人、イスラム教じゃなくてなんだっけ、ジューイッシュってなんだっけ、ユダヤ教、そうだ、ユダヤ教、ありがとういうか、ユダヤ教の人たちをみんなこう毒殺してたじゃないですかね。だからもう捕まったら死ぬっていうのがあるわけですよね。で、みんなそれでリトアニアとかに逃げて、そこから他の国にこう逃亡したいんですけど、その術がない。で、みんな日本に行きたかったんだけど、この人が責任者なわけですよね、ビザを発行する。でも、日本はそんな人たちをそんなたくさん入れたくないわけ。だけど、彼は、本当はその当時は絶対もう国家公務員だから、ガバメントの、その国家のなんていうの、そのオーダー命令に従わないっていうこと自体の選択肢がないわけ、普通はね。ただもう全部失う。下手したらもう本当に投獄されるぐらいの勢いだったんだけど、彼はそんな中で何百人、ひょっとしたら何千人というそのユダヤ教の人たちに無断で自分の独断でビザを出して船一杯以上そのユダヤ人の人たちを入れて日本に送ったのね。それが今になってすごくいろんな国で分かって、日本でもそういうのが分かってきて、でリトアニアで確かローリーが言ったの今年はその人の、今までの功績を称えられて非常に表彰されることになったっていうようなことを言ってますね。でも本当にもうすごい人っていうか、I don't think no one can do it, and at the time in the situation he was, and at the time, so he was so brave.
He was.
Yeah. Right.
I saw it in 1994. I saw his exhibit in Seattle.
Oh, he was in Seattle?
At the Wingwood Museum. And so I remembered it. And when I wrote the book, I started on Sugihara. And then about a year ago, I was in contact with his only surviving son, Nobuki, maybe more than a year ago. Through Facebook, I was in touch with him. So he sent me the family crest and sent some pictures, and the one about his award in, where was it? This one? Can you see the, whoopsie. It's in Hebrew.
Okay. Oh, Hebrew, yeah.
And that was the award that he received from Yad Vashem the year before he passed away. But he was not recognized for his work and had to go to the Soviet Union for work, and he would come home twice a year because he couldn't find work in Japan.
Wow.
I don't know what they call it in Japan, but in United States it's called blacklisted.
Right.
That he wasn't able to find a job, and yet he spoke about 4 or 5 languages fluently, and he's very well educated and very intelligent, but wasn't recognized for his work.
Oh, really? So he was actually resigned afterwards?
No, he was fired. They asked him to quit. Instead of firing him, they asked him to step down.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought he was still in some kind of job in Japan. I didn't know about it.
No,
wow.
he really suffered a lot, but he said I would do it again. Wanted to save lives.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And even now there are people that are descendants from Sugihara. And this year, the government of Lithuania, the whole year 2020, they are honoring Sugihara for his courageous acts.
Wow. Yeah.
So if you want to share that, that's fine.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, he deserved it. Seriously.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. Yeah. Wow, that's a wonderful story. Thank you for sharing. Any other people in the book?
Oh yes, for that was for courage, Yuki. And the next one, integrity, is Michi Weglin. And Michi Weglin wrote a book called Years of Infamy, and she was a teenager in camp, about the same age as my mother, and wrote a book, very large book, is about this thick, about why it was illegal for the government of our American government to do what they did to the Japanese people, because it's very shameful especially for the Issei. They didn't understand, they couldn't become citizens, they get locked up and then all their money's taken away or frozen, and all of their land and farms and businesses were confiscated, or people bought them for the taxes because they couldn't pay their taxes because their money was frozen. And so it was very sad. But even though that happened, it was in another chapter I write about the Moriguchi family, and they lost everything in World War II. But after that, they went to Seattle and built up their business, and now Uwajimaya is very successful. Over 400 employees, over 100 million in revenues, and about 4 or 5 stores. And now the daughter is at the head of it. She's the CEO, and she's not very old. She's probably in her latter 30s maybe, but a very American success story, because they had nothing and then they had to build from scratch.
I thought they were wealthy from the beginning, but they were not.
And Uwajima is because his father was from Uwajima, so they call it Uwajimaya, and they originally sold fish cakes.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't.
They sold it to the loggers and farmers. And Bellevue, there were a lot of Japanese in Bellevue, and they're the ones that cleared the land and settled it, but most of it was confiscated during the war.
Oh, I see. So Moriguchi family is which you applied to?
The Moriguchi, I believe that's honesty.
Honesty?
Hi.
Oh, okay, that's great. So just in a few Japanese, 最初の杉原千畝さんは彼女のこのサムライコードっていうのが7つあるんですね。勇気っていうの、義、仁、礼、誠、名誉、忠義というこの7つあるんですけど、杉原千畝さんはこの勇気ということに、すごくそういうふうななんていうの、インスパイア、そういう気持ちがを受けたということなんですね。で次に、西浦さんっていう方はその中のインテグレーティ義っていうところですね。これ多分日本人にしてみるとあまりこうねなんていうのこの親しみがないっていうかあまり普段使わない言葉なんだけれどもどっちかっていうと仁って 仁じゃない、義だね。義って倫理とか道徳っていう意味なんだよね。どっちかっていうとね。そんな感じの、を彼から受けた。で、シアトルにいる人は多分知ってると思うんだけど、宇和島屋っていうところがあって、その宇和島屋の、社長っていうのが、私はもともと裕福なうちだと思ってたら、彼女曰く第二次世界大戦中にやっぱり全てをなくしたと。そこから一から作り上げて、今ね、大きなシアトル、ワシントン州とオレゴンに4軒ぐらい店があるのかな、4、5軒あるんだよね。で、そこの、オーナーになって、すごい日系人としてはサクセスストーリーだと。で、彼らのことを誠ということで、インスパイアされたという影響を受けたということですね。で、OK, so
You want me to do benevolence?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Actually, integrity, I also talked about Senator Inoue from Hawaii, and he was the longest standing second longest standing senator in U.S. History. And he was in the World War II, and he, instead of just saying, go out and fight, he would go out in the front line, and that's how he lost his arm, was in battle. That was for integrity. And benevolence, I wrote about 2 doctors in benevolence, and one of them was a family friend who was a vascular surgeon, and he would go into the surgery with my mother, and he wasn't even the doctor. He wanted to make sure everything was going right, so he oversaw some of the surgeries for my brother and my 2 brothers and my mother. That's benevolence. And respect was the MIS. I talked about MIS and Japanese etiquette, like bowing and giving meishi, giving the card, and the way that they respect their elders and respect each other and learning how to bow. Honesty was the MIS. I wrote about the MIS in respect. And then honesty, it was Uwajimaya, and how the Japanese, after tsunami and earthquake of in March 2011, they weren't like United in America. In America, after disaster, people go in and loot and steal, but that didn't happen much in Japan at all. So I wrote about that. That was honesty, and honor was the Japanese 100th 442nd and the 522nd. I wrote about how they went to battle, and they were like modern day. Some of them were almost like ninjas climbing up this one mountain when the Europeans couldn't break the German line, and it took the Japanese only 30 minutes to do what it took everybody else unsuccessfully for 6 months. So they broke that line, and they, in the middle of the night, they climbed up this mountain, and if they fell, they couldn't scream because they would be given away. So they were kind of like ninjas, right? Modern day ninjas. That's honor. And let's see, honor, because I think honor is so important in Japanese culture. I wrote about Saigo Takamori Saigo, and Roy Matsumoto, who was in the MIS. He was actually Kibe. Do you understand Kibe? He was Kibe.
Just for them. キベイ2世っていうのはアメリカで生まれた2世なんだけども、日本で教育を受けて、でまたアメリカに帰ってきた人たちをキベイ2世って言います。だから日本語がとても上手です。そういう人たちをキベイというふうに言ってます。Okay.
Okay, so that's honor, and then loyalty. That's when I wrote about the 100th 442nd and the 522nd. And the 522nd are the ones that went into Dachau, the German prison camp, the concentration death camps, and they rescued some of the prisoners there. They were the first ones to go in. And a family friend, Iwasaki-san, and he was very very loyal, and he never talked about it or bragged, but he got that the gold medal. And then I added at the end Gambaru, and I talked about my mother, because she never gave up. She always told us, don't ever give up. She had a nursery, and built it from the ground, almost from the ground, because it was a dilapidated building, and she bought the property next door and the house next door and turned the pool into a koi pond, and always just never gave up, always doing something for the business. And so that's why I wanted to include her in the book. So I added gambaru.
Great, that's great. Because, you know, gambaru is very popular word nowadays, you know, even younger people, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's, I think, you know, one of the most popular in this seven, you know, I mean, that in the, you know, one of the kind of showing Japanese spirit, I think, you know. So that's never give up, you know, and stuff. So that's very beautiful one too. Yeah.
I think that's like samurai. That reminded me of samurai because I wanted my mom in the book. I wanted to write about my mom, but I couldn't figure out which one of the codes, you know, Yuki or Gi, and so I said, I'm just going to add gambaru because that's the essence of samurai and the Japanese spirit.
Well, that's easy to, you know, to us, you know, easy to remember, and then easy to adapt it, and then they kind of remind ourselves, you know, that's very important, and then that's, you know, representing the Japanese spirit, which we Japanese don't usually realize it, but it's actually in our DNA.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but we don't usually realize it. So this is a really good way to remind ourselves, you know, we are Japanese, no matter what. You know, all of them or some of them that, you know, it's already in there. You know, actually all of them is in there, but, you know, we don't usually see it. So it's a great opportunity to, you know, find these good spirit in yourself. It's internal, you know, internal stuff. It's not, you don't have to look for outside. It's internal. It's inside of you. Yeah.
If you want to explain, that's fine to your audience.
Yeah, well, I think, yeah, okay. 私が何て言ったかというと、この特に勇気っていう言葉はね、今でも使われてますよね。若い人たちなんかでね。だからすごく私たちにとっては親しみのある言葉であるんだけれども、特にローリーにとってはお母さんがね、その勇気というものにとてもフィットすると。お母さんの行動を見てると、絶対こういろんな何があっても諦めない勇気、続ける勇気っていうのを彼女が教えてくれたと。で、お母さんのことを考えて非常にすごく影響を受けたんだけど、この7つのコードの中に当てはまらないので、最後に勇気というのを入れたっていうのね。で、この7つのコードっていうのはここに出てるんだけれども、私たちにとって普段あまりこう聞き慣れないこともいっぱいあるじゃない。例えば人とか義とかってとか思うじゃないね。で、だけど本当はこういうのって私たちの体のこの細胞のそれこそ DNA の中に刷り込まれていることなんだよね。だから私たちが日本人である以上、この一つ一つは私たちの心の中にある、細胞の中にあることで、それをこの本によって再認識させてもらう。だから外にこういうすごい素晴らしい言葉なんだけど、外に見つけなくていいわけよ。外に私はこれがないじゃなくて、本当は自分の中に耳を澄ましてみて、自分の中を見てみると、こういう素晴らしい部分が一つ一つある。それが日本人の心だっていうことだっていうことをローリーが言いたいんだよね。という。
Just want a quick picture.
Yeah.
Let's see. お母さんとお父さん。
Yeah.
And おばあさんとおじいさん。
Oh, yeah.
This is really interesting, but she was married in Japan and her husband had a mistress and didn't want to give her up, so she divorced him. This was way back then. But I think you know, we were talking about the codes, and I think that's there's a lot of life coaching, a lot of teaching out there, but what people sometimes forget is that it's a commitment. It's
right.
You put it in you, and if you don't have it, then you develop it, and it's a way of life. It's not just, it's not mental assent. It's not say this and this will happen. It's what you believe in, and not only what you believe in and what you do and say, they all have to line up.
Yeah, that's very true. And, and we Japanese have, you know, different perspective about, you know, relationship and commitment, especially on, you know, marriage. So that's, you know, also, in our, blood, I think, that's, based on these 7 code, is.
I think so.
Yeah, I believe. Great. Okay, thank you for that.
Sure.
So now, we learned, 7 code plus 1, Yuki. And how can we apply these 7, principles in our business and everyday life, especially many people are not very confident about, themselves, So how do you think, how you can advise us, how to apply it?
Well, I don't know how it is in Japan, but even in America, the women are a little bit lower than the men. So that's why I love to speak to women. It's in their culture, and it's in many cultures where especially like China, the boys are up here, the girls are down here. So that's why I love to speak to women and encourage them that they're just as important and they're just as smart and they're just as talented as men. Everybody has different talents.
Right.
And if we can't say, oh, I want to be like her or him, we can't compare because it's like a puzzle. Nanto imasu ka? A puzzle. Puzzle. Okay. It's like a puzzle. And minasan, like this puzzle.
Right. Yeah.
They fit together. And we can't say, oh, I want to be like this or like them. And that's what I did when I was growing up. I wanted to be like my blonde hair, blue-eyed friends, but I'm glad of who I am now because I love being Japanese. I love to go to Japan. I planned a tour in the fall to go to the Jidai Matsuri and see the Aki, all the fall leaves. Is it Momiji? The Momiji leaves. But I'm not sure we can go. I don't know. They even canceled or postponed the Olympics. So I don't know if it's going to be safe to go. But I really wanted to do that and take a small group of women and show them Japan and stay in a more Japanese style hotel. Oh, thank you. Arigato.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You see me down here? I'm down here.
Right. Well, okay, so I just, let people know what you're doing is,ローリーのね、このなんていうの、活動の一つとして、女性をすごく応援するっていう気持ちがあって、特にアメリカでも、日本よりもすごく、先に行ってるアメリカでもやっぱり男性の方がまだ優位っていうところがあってね、そういうこともあって、非常に女性を応援したいと。で、特にローリーは日本の文化とかにすごくが好きなのでね、特にもみじとかそういう紅葉とかそういう文化的なこともすごく好きだしっていうので、今年の秋にね、この女性だけで京都ツアーっていうのを組んでるわけね。で、それで京都に行ってみんなでね、女性だけで楽しもうと、いろんな日本の文化に触れて美味しいものを食べてっていうようなことを計画してるんですね。でそれが10月の19日から11月の2日、今こういう状況なので本当にできるかどうかわかんないんだけどなっていうような感じのことを言ってました。で So, it's a little bit, jumped, but, it's okay, So, where do you go there, what kind of activities you do in Kyoto?
Kyoto, well, the Jidai Matsuri.
Jidai Matsuri is
that's very Taihan desu yo. And go to Fushimi and Sake Brewery, Ohara.
Sanzen.
And I was told to go to Uji.
Uji, that's, matcha's, place.
And Textile Museum, Nishijin Textile Museum.
Good.
Flea market at the, probably Kitano. Toji is Oki. Toji is huge. The Kitano is a little smaller, but the Toji was just, I loved it, but you could spend the whole day there and get lost. And
you mean the Tojinbo or Toji?
Toji. No, Kitano is smaller.
Kitano smaller.
Toji is south of the station.
Oh, okay.
And it's huge. It's really, really large. And I think it's more crowded. I like the Kitano. It's smaller, and I love the craft fairs too. We went to a craft fair, and we even went to Yabusame there one year. So it'll be mostly, Arashiyama, that's a whole day to go to Arashiyama, the bamboo forest and the kimono forest, and just walk around there. And so every day is not going to be really, really packed, but we'll go to like the Nijo Castle and Imperial Castle. I want to go to Katsuda, to the Katsuda village. I've never been there, but I heard it was really beautiful. A lot of museums, like the craft museum. So it's not going to be so packed that a person gets tired. There'll be times to do things and then some time to do shopping. I love shopping in Japan. If it's raining, we go to the arcade.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's great. Thank you. So, もし日本にね、たまたまこの時、10月の19日とか11月の2日に日本にいる方がいらしたら、ローリーが来たら、はいと言ってあげてくださいね。知ってるよって。Did you get it? What I said? I said, if they were happen to be in Kyoto,
to say hello
to you and just say hi to you.
I hope we can go, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's kind of hard, critical condition right this moment, but we'll see. Yeah,
we'll see. Yeah.
And then so next one, I would like to talk about because we were your Japanese folktale activity is very impressive too, because you are introducing Japanese spirit, which kind of encoded in folktale to American people. So why did you start this one?
Well, I'm a Toastmaster, and the program when I began is much different than it is now. And I did storytelling. I went to the prison and they loved it. I did, let's see, the Singing Turtle. But I also have one where a very short one where I do the puppets. This is the Kyoto frog. And then I have the Osaka frog. And the Osaka wants to go to Kyoto and Kyoto wants to go to Osaka. And so this moral of the story is there's no place like home. Like the Kyoto frog says, oh, I want to eat and eat and eat. And he goes, onaka ga ippai desu yo. And the Osaka frog says, I'm hungry, and doesn't likes Kyoto, but I want that food. He goes, oh, and I have the audience say what their favorite Japanese food. They go, okonomiyaki, takoyaki. And so I love telling the Japanese folk tales, and I do that at the Japanese fairs, like the Seattle one, but they didn't have the Seattle cherry blossom this year, and they're not doing the one in Bellevue in the summer. So maybe in the fall in Bellevue they'll have one.
Yeah, in Japan Festival too, there is in a fall time. Yeah, great. And why is it puppet? It could be other medias and something. You could do it.
I just like using different voices. Like I have the turtle one is I talk like this, and I have fun. And actually, I'm talking like one of my cousins.
Oh, I see.
He doesn't know that. When she was young, she goes, oh, she called her mother, oh, Jim, Amy, come here, I want you. And she was really young. It was like that voice stuck with me, and we laughed about it.
Have she seen your, play?
No, that was her voice. She was.
I wonder how she thinks about it.
She was spoiled. She called her mom Amy and her dad Jim. You don't call your parents by their names. You go mom and dad. She was
okay.
Yeah, but she's a lot better now. She's about I think she's about 50 or so.
Oh, okay. So she's not that way. Okay.
She's not like that anymore.
Interesting. So how many stories do you have in your, to play for it?
About 6.
Oh, 6? That's quite big. And when I saw the list of the, what you play, title, I don't usually realize it except when the white hair of the Inaba. That's, one of the popular one. But how did you learn about these? Each one of them.
Well, I went to folktale books, and I chose the stories that most people don't know. A lot of them know Momotaro-san and all of those. So I I chose ones that people didn't know much about.
Oh, you intentionally choose something not very popular to introduce new stuff to.
Right.
Oh, that's great. Oh, thank you for doing that. That's different perspective, if you go with a different story, I think.
It's fun. I really like it, especially when I go to Nikkei Manor in Seattle, and they have second graders and then the residents, the older people. And so they work with them, and I make them say hello they get a sticker after they say hello to two people.
Yeah. Okay.
So I do things like that. And if they sing, I give them a coin, and then they can throw it in for fun. So it's audience participation.
Wonderful. That's really fun. Yeah. Participating is more fun than just listening, I think.
Right.
So that's great. That's great. Okay. I would like to leave some time for the questions, but now.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I would like to go. How do you apply 7 Bushido code to the coronavirus?
The coronavirus.
Yeah.
You think it's all up in our heads, and we can either be. Love and fear don't coexist.
Right.
You can't be fearful and afraid, and then also be a contributing person to society. So you have to think about it. It's not fun. I've never experienced anything like this, to be locked down. This is new to me, but we can get through it, and we don't have to hoard like many people are doing, hoarding toilet paper and paper towels and bleaches and things like that. We don't have to. That's not what we do. We just buy what we need, and it's a time to give to others and share and encouragement. Even through Facebook, you can do that, send messages. I sent out a really good video that I sent to a lot of my Jewish friends, because I dance. I do Jewish dance in Seattle. Yeah, I love it.
I want to see that.
It is so much fun. And there's a connection between the Japanese and the Jewish people. And I think Sugihara, it kind of brought it together for me. But I do enjoy doing the Jewish dancing.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And so that's when I talked about earlier, it's you have to think of other people too, not just me. Our society, our American here in the United States, it's all about me and the individual and getting ahead. Whereas in Japan, it's more team, cooperative, and what's good for everybody, minasan. So I think in America, we could take that from the Japanese culture to think about others. Like John F. Kennedy was president about probably the time you were born. And he says, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Right.
And so being a person that would contribute and think about, you'll always find somebody better, up here, and you'll always find somebody down here.
Right.
And so don't always clamor to be up here, but help those that need help. And we take food to people right now that are locked, that can't get out much anyway. So there are things that you can do even while we're in this lockdown. I've been going through projects, and I've been doing sewing and straightening things out. And
Wow, you're a craft person too. Wow. I didn't know that. Okay. Well, なんて言ったかって、コロナのことをね、どうやってこのセブン武士道コードとつなげたらいいかっていうことを聞いたんですけど、まず、愛と恐怖っていうのは一緒のところには住めないと。一緒のところにはありえないっていうんですね。愛があれば恐怖はなくなるし、恐怖があれば愛はなくなる。だから愛の方にもっと焦点を合わせて持っていくと恐怖がなくなると。でそのためには日本人っていうのはもともとみんなのことを考える習慣があるので、ジョン・F・ケネディがね、国に私のためには何ができるのっていうことを聞くんじゃなくて、私は国のために何ができるんだっていうことを考えてくれって言ったようにね、 今の状況が自分にとってどういうふうに影響するかっていうことを考える前に、愛を持ってね、自分がじゃあみんなのために何ができるんだろうっていうことを考えて、例えばFacebook のポストにしても何か愛のあることをね、シェアするとか、そういうことによってみんなと一緒に良くなれるっていう、そういうそれは日本人の心にあることだから、そのね、誠であるとか、そういう義とかね、そういう本当に道徳心とか、その武士道コードに沿ったことでね、そう自分の中にあることを引き出して、みんなのために何ができるかっていうことをやっていけば、もっと良くなるだろうというようなことを言ってたんですね。で、I just wanted to let them know that, where to buy your book.
Oh.
So, yeah. So, すっごくいい本ですので、Amazon で買えます。一応、今、その、チャットのところに、リンクを入れましたけれども、あと、もし今ね、アジアの方がいらっしゃったら、楽天の紀ノ国屋。
紀ノ国屋、yes.
Yeah.
紀ノ国屋
でね、もう売ってます。日本語の、まだ日本語の、やつはないんですけども、これはパブリッシャーの方の出版社の方でいろいろやってくれてるので、ローリーにはなんていうの、日本語にするとかっていうそういうことを決めることはできないんだけれども、私はいずれ出てくると思うんですけどね、英語版なんですけれども、それでもその紀ノ国屋っていろんな国にあるのでね、アジアの方でね、そこでも買えますし、日本の紀ノ国屋でも買えますので、Amazon でももちろん買えますので、もし興味があったら見てみてください。で、何かね、もう時間があんまりなくなってしまったんですけれども、何か質問とかありますかね。なんか聞きたいこと、日本語でもいいです。チャットに書いてくださってもいいし、英語でも日本語でも。ありますか？
じゃあ、1個いいですか？
はい、どうぞどうぞ。
So, Lori, as a third generation, I think third generation, like Japanese American, I think most of them don't have like Japanese, like Japanese way of thinking or like Japanese like way, whatever. But like for you, I think you have a lot more like something, you have like something thinking about Japanese. So like how or when do you think you are Japanese or vice versa is American?
Oh, when do I think about Japanese and America? A lot, a lot, because a lot of times, especially when I'm out in public, I'm aware of it. Where my brothers and sisters, they didn't mind much, but now with coronavirus, there's a lot of anti-Asian sentiment, and I just think that it's really too bad because during the war, the Chinese wrote this little sign that says, "I'm not Japanese," because they didn't want to be associated with Japanese. And now some Japanese are saying, well, maybe we should do that. I'm not Chinese, but when we start dividing, and it's just very unfortunate what happened, and it's very unfortunate the way that some people think and talk even today. Like sometimes people have said, "Oh, you speak very good English." And I said, "Oh, I hope so. I hope so," because I was born and raised here, and learning Japanese was difficult because my parents didn't teach it to me. Because they didn't want to associate with being Japanese. They had to disassociate themselves from being Japanese because of the war situation. And they didn't want to be penalized further because they were already in those horrible camps they were awful, just a little teeny tiny room and one light bulb and a potbelly stove. That's all they had, no water. So they were not treated very kindly. And I think it's too bad that the American people did that. And some people still think that. They say strange kind of racial things like, I have a Japanese friend that lived next door to me, or I went to school with a Japanese person. I go, great, I went to school with a Caucasian person. So I don't like to make those distinctions because people are people, right? And we might look different, talk different, think different, but most people want to be liked and respected for who they are, and everybody wants to be treated fairly and decently without all that, the racial. I just don't like all the political stuff going on, because it's this one, that one, this one, that one, but we all have to work together and do what's best for everybody. Like the Japanese, you do what's best, do the right thing all the time, and that's Bushido. Do seven codes and do the right thing all the time. So that's 7 words, 7 codes. Do the right thing all the time. And so that's what I think about Bushido, is I have to do what's right. It's not always easy, and I don't always want to do it, but in the end, I think a person is happier if they can be true to themselves and do what they know is right and treat people fairly.
Right. Yeah. That's right. Okay. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there any other questions?
Hi, Lori.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Hajimemashite.
Hajimemashite. My name is Sakiko Flower. I'm a member of the Emiko-san's group, JES. And I just want to thank you. It was a great the great thing to hear, and really appreciate that. And as a Japanese, and then as a Japanese living in Seattle. But anyway, I'll be in probably the same time you might be there, the end of January, the October, the beginning of November. So, and then I'm from Kansai area too.
Oh, Kansai. Okay.
Yeah. And the one thing, born and raised in the Kansai area, I went to school there. Every school trip, every little research trip is always go to either Nara or Kyoto. I hated it. We all hated it when we were small. We never appreciate, right? I mean, even like high school time, it's like, okay, this year's school trip in Kyoto, this, it's like, okay, you know the game. So, and then yes, I know Kyoto is Nara is beautiful, but it's so close, and it's always there. Never appreciate until I moved to the States, and then every time I go back, I have many friends in Kyoto, and then like every time I go there, it's like, oh my God, such a beautiful area, and I mean, it's so fortunate. I was born and raised and then grew up there. And, I mean, now I really, I'm very proud of my upbringing, and where I always able to see when I was growing up. So anyway, long story short, hopefully to see you in Japan.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah. Maybe, I could, is it okay, Lori, to put, your email address on the, website?
Yes, please. What I will do, Emiko, what I'd like to do is forward an email to you, and it will have the video and information about the book. And so you can forward that to your friends. And if they would like to be on my email list, I would love to have it. I just had a very good article in Pacific Citizen, and they featured my book on the cover. And so I'll send that one to you about that.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah, I was honored. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. So let's see if there's any other questions there. So it's about time. So please, if you have to go, please go. But, just wanted to advise you that, our next word, for your information, Lori, we are on a game. We have, 6 presentation. This is the second one today. And we have 4 more left. And every time, we present in the English word, and people just make a note of it. And on the very last day, they put, all words, 6 words on the chat. And very first one who, put the right words, will receive the prize, from us. So this is the today's code. I mean, today's code, today's English word. 今日の言葉は今回はコードです。CODE。これを覚えておいてください。そしてですね、もうお時間ですので、もし行かなければならなければ ここでまた明日ですね、10時から今度は、渚が、娘さんと一緒にね、七尾ちゃんと10歳の七尾ちゃんと一緒にこのいろんなことね、本当にね、いろんなことこれからの100年時代のどうやったら新日本がね、人生100年時代のこれからのこととかを話したりとか、それをね、娘さんと一緒に話したりね、あと娘さんがこのコロナが終わったら何をしたいかっていうことをクラスメートの方と話したの、電話で話したことをね、シェアしてもらったりしますので、で、また12時からは咲子さんがね、宝塚のこととか話してくださるので、またこの咲子さんもね、このコロナでいろいろね、今回すごく影響を受けて、ダメージを受けて、大変な思いをなさったんですけども、いろいろそういうことも聞けるかもしれないので、いらしてくださいね。ということで、So, thank you for coming, but Lori, I wanted to ask you last question.
Sure.
Yeah, what is
Well,
actually, I want to ask you more,
okay.
but for today, so in any way, so what is your next goal?
What is my next goal? To go on international stages and speak.
Oh, wonderful.
I was just a TEDx speaker, so if you ever want to invite me back, I would love to tell you about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. No, you can say just TEDx speaker. That's high, level.
Yeah, it was.
Status.
It really was, and
Yeah.
it's still not edited yet, but hopefully pretty soon it'll get edited. And I spoke about my grandmother. And I told her story, and I said "Ganbatte kudasai" because she never gave up, and going through what she did, and then her husband died and left her with 7 children. She had to take over the family business, and she didn't know anything about it, but she went in there with with that samurai spirit and made a success of it.
Okay, wonderful. So, I believe, there are many people from, maybe Canada and maybe other countries, so they might be able to, invite you eventually so that, you can be an international speaker, right?
Yes.
That would be wonderful.
Yes.
Again, thank you so much for your time and then all the, stories to share with us, that was priceless.
Oh, thank you.
As Japanese, we found, ourselves, today, our roots today in our DNA, what's ingredients of our DNA. And that's a really great, experience to us. I really appreciate, your generosity to, share with us. And looking forward to, see you again. And I promise you that I am going to share, today's videos and all the information with other people too.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad to meet all of you.
Thank you.
Bye. Mata
Bye.
じゃあまたね。
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. い
皆さんありがとうございます。
ありがと
皆さんありがとうございました。お時間ね、過ぎましたけど。
ローリーさんとお話ししていいですか？
どうぞどうぞどうぞ。はい。Lori, is it okay to have a little bit more time?
Yeah, sure.
So this is not the first time I see you. I've seen you at the Bellevue College with my kids.
Oh, okay.
But actually, I think I've seen you doing that like at least two years, and it's wonderful. Thank you so much that you're doing it. They love it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and it's so inspiring, and actually Emiko knows that I have this dream that I have like tons of dreams, but one of them is to write a kids book too. So if you I would like to get in touch with you.
Oh, sure. Mochiron.
Me, or like I don't know anything about writing books, but I have this idea that it maybe it could go somewhere. So yeah, so I want to get in touch with you.
Yes, of course. Mochiron. And Emiko is going to forward my email, and then
Yeah.
you can respond to that, and I'll probably do the last email that was sent out, and it's about the code of, talk about the book, and I talk about other things. And this year, I mean, this last one that went out this week was about the Pacific Citizen, but then I also talk about the book and about the how to use the code of Bushido in these times. So you might be interested in that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. I love doing the folk tales. It's so much fun. It really is.
Great.
Very-
I'm so glad to know that there are new connection here.
Yes.
Yeah, new relationship. Starting of the new relationship. That's wonderful. That's the beauty of people getting together and they help together. So getting to know each other. Thank you so much for your willingness to connect and then
Sure.
support too. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Yeah,レイキさん、今日は2回ともお越しいただきありがとうございました。永遠で咲子さんも優香もなぎさんもね、2回とも来てくれてありがとうございます。また明日ありますのでよろしくお願いしますね。はい。
はい。
Thank you so much.
Hi.
Bye.
Mata ne.
Mata.
Mata.